This Sunday at 1:30 PM UK time, we have the opportunity to book our first semi-final spot in this year's season versus Sheffield United. And later that evening, we're going to find out potential semi-final opponents with the draw, and considering the luck that Tuchel has brought to our club, let's hope we get favourable opponents. Now, before I continue on, you guys, I want to say today's video is brought to you by OneFootball, and I'm constantly stressing this, you guys, but this really is the best football companion app to have on the market right now. And I have to say, if you're a Chelsea fan and you still have not downloaded the OneFootball app, bro, what are you waiting for? Today is the perfect time to get familiar with this app because honestly, it is the perfect hub for all things Chelsea. If you want to find out the latest news surrounding the day from across Europe, the OneFootball app is straight for you. If you want to find out stats surrounding the players, of course, you can use OneFootball app's quick feature. Highlight the player that you want to see. For this example, I'm going to be going with N'Golo Kante just based on his masterful performances recently, and let's see how he's been doing in the UCL. All we got to do is this, click that, and boom, you guys, we're getting a brief overview stats-wise and how Kante has performed in this year's UCL. And now that we know we're playing against Porto, if we have any chance of winning this game, Kante will play a significant part. So you guys, what are you waiting for? The OneFootball app, you'll find a link below in the description. Try out for yourselves. Honestly, this is a great app. You're going to love it. And if you do get it, make sure you comment below too. Now, let's examine our quarterfinal opponents in Sheffield United. Now, I have to tell you guys, last season in particular, I really warmed up to Sheffield United. I really loved their brave style of football, their attacking style of football, their unique game plan. But this season, it does seem like luck has finally run out for them. I feel like this is a combination of opposition teams finding out how to play against them. If you don't update your tactics, of course, you do get found out, and in a very competitive league like the Premier League, you can't afford to do that. For the second reason, injuries have played a massive part. Currently, they're missing 4 key players for the game: Sunderberger, O'Connell, Robinson, and Egan as well. And last season, these players played a significant part in allowing Sheffield United to climb up the table. On top of all of this, the bad luck only continues as they are now without Chris Wilder as their manager. The reason for this is that Chris was not too receptive towards working with the director of football at Sheffield United, and you guys make of that what you will. Now, if we examine their table position and their current form, it seems like Sheffield United are destined to get relegated. In the past 6 games, they've only won 1 game, winning against Aston Villa. However, their last game was a 5-0 defeat against Leicester City. Now, last month, we beat them 2-1, and to be honest, they played a very strong game. They did cause us some issues in that game, especially in midfield at times with their driving runs through the middle, just penetrating us at times, and they were quite unfortunate not to get a goal for themselves. In that game, we beat them 2-1, courtesy of goals from Mason Mount and a Jorginho penalty. However, on Sunday, things are completely different. We know that in knockout round games, in one-off games, anything can happen, and considering that United are destined to get relegated this season, they have pride to play for in the quarterfinals this Sunday, so we need to make sure that we are prepared. We respect our opponents, and most of all, that we win this damn game. So in today's match preview, I'm going to break down what Tuchel had to say in the press conference. I'm going to go through the predicted lineups, and to end things, I'm going to give my match predictions. So I hope you guys do enjoy. Smash that like button, you guys, if you like the channel, you like the work rate, and of course, comment below, get involved in the conversation. Without wasting no more time, we start with Tuchel's press conference, and let's hear what he had to say. Now, immediately, Tuchel was asked about our opponents in the quarterfinals of this year's UCL, and I recommend that you guys in the cards above make sure you watch my video breaking down the draw, our opponents, and what to expect about whether we can book a semi-final spot. Tuchel, he was being real, and he said that he's happy to play against an international team compared to a team from England. He states that he feels confident in the second leg, considering that game will be played at Stamford Bridge, and states that we are self-confident. However, we are not ignorant because let's not forget the result that Porto picked up in Turin. So that was the first question. Later on, Tuchel was asked about that new attacking trio that we saw against Atletico Madrid, with Tuchel mentioning that these players in particular have really improved a lot more under him. They've needed time to adapt, adapt to a higher level, a better club, and to a new league. But he really stressed that, in particular, he was really impressed by their pressing from the front. And of course, that is one thing that Tuchel wants to see in his attacking players. Later on, Tuchel was asked about Thiago Silva. Does this mean that we may see Thiago featuring in that game versus United? It seems very unlikely, with Tuchel stressing that it makes no sense to use him right now, considering that after this game, there is going to be the international break. And on top of this, you guys, we got some updates in regards to Tammy Abraham. Kind of scary to hear about it. Tuchel mentioned that in training earlier this week, there was a slight scare involving Tammy and his ankle again. Now, Tammy is still suffering from the consequences from that, really reckless challenge from Newcastle's Lascelles, so it seems like he is not fully perfect just yet. However, Tuchel mentioned that he is hoping to use Tammy as part of the squad versus Sheffield United. We got some confirmation that Giroud will be starting versus Sheffield United, with Tuchel stressing that ideally he would have given Giroud more game time. However, the context was in certain games we had injuries, which meant that defenders had to come on in place of him. And of course, first the Merseyside games against Everton and Liverpool, Tuchel wanted to rely upon pace and intensity more. So yes, Giroud's going to get his start. And to end things with the press conference, Tuchel was asked about our lack of goals being scored under him, with Tuchel mentioning that to score goals at this level is one of the hardest things to do in football. Tuchel stressed that balance is key, and even though he admitted that we are lacking that precision right now, Tuchel's answer left food for thought, with him mentioning that lack of precision could be a byproduct of all the work rate and intensity off the ball that the team are constantly having to do. So there you have it, you guys. That was the press conference. And now we move on to the predicted lineup. Now, things will be a bit easier for me when it comes to these predictions right now, because we do know that Giroud is going to start in the game. Now, considering we have so many players on great form at this point in time, and considering too that after this game, we do have the international period, and to be honest, you guys, it's got me really shook right now, I have to admit that. I'm curious to the extent at which Tuchel will rotate the team. Of course, this is an opportunity to win the game, and are we going to see strong players used, or are we going to see a balance of rotation plus strong players in the team? You guys, I'm going to give you my 3 different predicted lineups, starting with the first one. In this team, rotation is definitely the vibe. Up front, you guys can see Giroud partnered by Pulisic and Mason Mount. Wing backs, I've gone for Hudson-Odoi and I've gone for Ben Chilwell. In midfield, I've gone for Kvara and Jorginho, with Zuma, Christensen, Azpilicueta and Kepa in goal. Now, it does feel like Kepa will get cup games. I think, if we have any hope in getting a loan move for him, or even selling him, which seems impossible at this point in time, then he does need game time to hopefully attract some clients. On top of that, you guys, of course, it feels that maybe Christensen has got over his recent illness. He should take part in the game tomorrow. And looking at the back line, I'm using a backline that was similar in our previous FA Cup game. So we could be seeing Kurt Zouma playing down the left-hand side, and I think it's deserved due to his incredible defensive performance against Atletico Madrid. In midfield, Kvara and George, I feel like we saw them against Sheffield United when we beat them 2-1, and this gives Kante the opportunity to get a bit of rest too, prior towards the international break. Ben seems like he's a dead cert in my personal opinion, but up front, Tuchel's mentioned that he is going to give more opportunities to Christian Pulisic. It feels like Pulisic has slowly, ever so slowly, been showing some more form, and I think for him to find his form faster, he's a player that does need game time. So again, eyes will be on him. Now we move on to the second lineup, and in this lineup, the focus is on using stronger players in the team. So up front again, Giroud, partnered alongside Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. In midfield, I've gone for Kvara and Kante again. Wing backs, Ben and Hudson-Odoi. In defence, I've gone for Rudiger, Zuma, Azpilicueta with Kepa in goal. Now, again, the back line we saw against Atletico Madrid. Why change things right now? We've got the international break coming up, and I'm happy to maintain that, to be honest. In midfield, I feel like in the game versus United, when we beat them 2-1, we saw some issues in our midfield. We saw United trying to exploit that, and I feel with having Kante in a big knockout round game like this, I feel more confident and secure having him in our midfield. His form's been unreal. of course, you can expect that form to continue against United. And to continue on, you guys, up front, I've gone for Kai Havertz and I've gone for Mason Mount. Now, of course, these guys can play together. Kai Havertz plays the more offensive role, with Mason Mount playing the more supportive role. I do feel like Kai has needed more consistent game time. We've been seeing his form rise and rise and rise, and starting alongside Giroud, where we have the options of having aerial ability, that could bring us a new dimension into the team. Mount coming back too will help us press them from the front. Mount plays extremely well between the lines, his link-up play too, and his creative abilities could come on show even more. And I do feel like with having Giroud and Kai Havertz trying to arrive inside the box, Kai playing over Giroud, that could give Sheffield United a ton of things to worry about. So that's my second lineup out of the way. And for the third lineup, here's the lineup that I would play in the game. So of course, I have to use Giroud because he is set to play. Alongside him, I've gone for Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. And my reasoning for that is that, I'm sorry you guys, but I want to see Werner getting a goal. Yeah, his form's been good. He's been playing a lot better for the team. But now, before the international break, this is an opportunity for him to get on the score sheet. And, you know, playing off Giroud, playing alongside Kai Havertz could bring some newfound joy to help him get goals. In midfield, I've gone for Kante and Cover because after I saw what these guys did against Atletico Madrid, it's going to be hard for me to see anyone else, to be honest. Wing backs, I've gone for Hudson-Odoi and I've gone for Ben for self-explanatory reasons. And in defence, I've gone for Rudiger, Zuma, Azpilicueta because again, I'm still riding off those waves set against Atletico Madrid. And I'd like to say Mendy, but I do know that Kepa has to start in goals. So that's my lineup that I'd like to see. Subs, let's hope that Andrew gets some game time. Let's hope that we see Pulisic maybe get game time and Tammy Abraham as well because, you know, out of everything, Tammy is still our leading goal scorer. And right now, you guys, I'm going to end things with my match prediction. And yeah, I know I'm being extremely ambitious, but I'm sorry. I'm hoping we can bang in the goals before international break. I mean, 2 weeks without seeing us is going to feel so long considering our amazing form right now. And I think against United, this could be the opportunity to get those goals in. Now that they are managed by Chris Wilder, now that their form and confidence is at an all-time low, we've been seeing Tuchel teasing us more and more with his attacking lineups and selections. And it does feel like eventually, as the season does go on, we are going to get the attack clocked and mastered. So yes, I'm going for a 3-0 win. But there you have it, you guys. That was the match preview. In the comments below, what lineup do you want to see? What scoreline do you think we'll get against Sheffield United? I'm EFC. This is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.